ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a video that we are not going to buy any golf clubs in. I probably lost just 95% of the viewers by opening a video like that, but this video is very special. In this video, I'm taking you behind the scenes of Lone Star Mulligans. I'm showing you exactly what my process is, going from buying clubs to taking pictures to listing clubs to my storage situation and also shipping clubs. So with all that being said, we're going to show you exactly what it looks like to store a bunch of golf clubs. And my wife is probably watching this video and she is shaking her head because I have about 75 golf clubs downstairs scattered all throughout our house that have not been listed. And that is my number one cardinal rule that I have broken this past month. And that is, as soon as you buy a club, you list it either on eBay or on stackedgolf.com. And I have broken that rule because life has been just exceptionally busy this past couple of weeks. But this is my storage situation. I have drivers up here. I got my woods, my hybrids, my irons down at the bottom. And then right here, this is my favorite row. I have all of my individual wedges in ascending order from lowest loft to highest loft, just so it's easier to grab them when I do sell one of them on eBay or on stackedgolf.com. And then over to my right here, we have all of my putters in a bag, my individual irons and odd wedges over here, and kids clubs. All of the bags that you see over here, I got off Facebook Marketplace in one deal or another. I've sold the clubs out of them. I do sell bags, but the value of these bags as storage situations right now is just paramount for me. So I do have the bags. I'll sell them in live auctions. I'm not really trying to push them off the door because I probably made a profit on every set that I've bought with those bags so far. I did sell a couple of clubs this past couple of days over the weekend. I'm going to go ahead and pull them now so that we can ship them together. The first club that I sold is this Lefty Nike Covert BRS driver. It still has the price tag on here. I bought it for $24.99. It sold for $80 on stackedgolf.com. The second club that I sold actually was a wedge. It was this Adams Golf Lob Wedge that I sold on eBay on a blanket 10% off sale, and I'm pretty sure I lost money on this. We'll check it out on Flipwise and talk about Flipwise when we get downstairs. And then finally, the last thing that I sold was this entire set of Titleist AP1s 4 through pitching wedge. I bought this for $250 and I think I sold it for $325, $330. We'll also check downstairs when we open Flipwise. But I'm going to spin you around real quick and we'll look at the boxes that I'm going to use to ship these with. Okay, let's talk about boxes very quickly. This is my favorite box. This is a 4x4x40. I ship all of my wedges in here, my iron sets if I can squeeze them in there, and also all of my putters. I buy these in bulk. I'll have a link down in the description of where I buy these. I'm into these for anywhere from $1.50 to $2 a box, which is always covered in the shipping that I charge. I generally charge $15 in shipping, and that covers the cost of shipping and the cost of the box, and also leaves maybe $1 to $2 in profit there as well. This is the other box that I buy. It's a 5x5x48. I put all of my iron sets in here, all my hybrids in here, all my woods in here, all my drivers in here, but I need to make sure that I cut them down so that they are not close to 48 inches, and we'll go over that when I box the driver. But you need to stay below 48 inches because if you touch 48 inches, the shipping cost jumps up significantly. And these are the two different boxes that I do use. I do use a U-Haul box for bags, but we didn't sell any bags. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I think I've covered it ad nauseum in other videos, but let's go box some clubs up together. All right, here we are downstairs. We're going to go ahead and box these clubs up. Before I get to putting bubble wrap on this driver, I do want to let you all know that I use Goo Gone to actually get the residue from the PGA store and Golf Galaxy off of the clubs. I don't know what adhesive they use to put those stickers on, and I think it's like a theft prevention situation, but it gets all the residue off very easily. After we got the residue off, everything else is just pretty straightforward. I choose to bubble wrap the heads of the clubs. It's simple. It doesn't take a lot of time, and people really love it, and they give me feedback saying the clubs were really well protected. It doesn't take too long. It looks pretty decent. And then all we do from there is throw it in the box. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this driver inside this box. Where the club ends and where the box ends, there's about an inch of space here. When a box says it's 48 by 5 by 5, that's referencing the inside of the box. So the outside is really going to measure something like 49 by 6 by 6. And we don't want that. Anything above 48 inches is going to cause shipping to be astronomically more expensive. So we're going to cut this box down and then put it back together, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second.
Now we're going to fast forward through this part together, but this is a very tedious situation. It does end up saving a significant amount on shipping. And if you've ever been charged an excess shipping fee for the incorrect dimensions on a box, you know what that pain feels like. It hurts and dives into your profit margin quite significantly. I basically just cut around the box completely where the club ends, take that part that I cut off, put it back on the box, and then tape it on. I am only shortening the box by just about an inch here, and I will go ahead and show you what the measurement looks like. Now, this is an absolutely terrible angle that I'm trying to show you here, and the camera did not focus, but I am just under 47 inches, and then the sides measure just over 5 inches. So for the shipping label, it's 47 by 5 by 5. You always need to round up.
Now with the wedge, this is really simple. We're just gonna go ahead and tape. I dropped the tape. We're gonna go ahead and tape. Probably one of the most frustrating things that happens with tape is when it gets stuck to the roll. Everybody gets a little bit of my DNA because I hold the tape in my mouth when I'm wrapping the club. And then we're just gonna drop it in here and tape it up. Okay, now for the iron set, what we're going to do is I am going to bubble wrap these. I have 7 irons that comprise this entire set, so I'm going to wrap 4 together and then 3 together. I'm going to put them in the 48 by 5 by 5, and then I'm going to cut the box down just like I did with the driver, just to make sure it's compact. There's not a lot of wiggle room, and the shipping's a little bit cheaper on that, so I'm going to get to work on that. There's something about doing it on camera that makes it 1,000 times harder. And then also the fact that I'm standing at this awkward angle when I'm normally sitting down watching a show with my wife when I'm doing this. But we're going to fast forward through this, and then I'll come back with y'all. We'll print the labels, and then we'll call it a day.
Now, bubble wrapping the clubs is not necessary. I've seen a whole bunch of different strategies here. I've seen people raw dog the club where they just throw it into the box. I've seen people shove the box full of packing paper so the club doesn't rattle around. It's really what you feel most comfortable with, but I will say I have gotten a ton of positive comments and feedback on eBay on my sales that the clubs are well wrapped, well preserved, and well taken care of, and it does seem to add a little bit of confidence to buyers, and the comments also help drive more sales.
Okay, now to protect the lives of the innocent, I'm going to go ahead and print the labels off of camera because it has all of their personal information on there. I use a thermal printer. I cannot recommend it enough because printing out multiple labels on just normal printer paper and cutting them out and then slapping them on the boxes gets very old very fast. Then you run out of ink at the 11th hour, and it's a headache. So if you're going to be doing this in volume, get a thermal printer immediately. You will thank me after your first bulk shipment.
Okay, here we are over in Flipwise, and Flipwise is the program that I use to do my accounting in. And what I've done is I've gone to All Sold and I've pulled up my Nike Covert driver that I sold on stackedgolf.com. And this is what the sale looks like. So the buyer paid $80 plus $13 in shipping, so that's $93 total. Here's my marketplace fees, so $11.19. My cost to ship was $10.07, but I charged $13 on the platform, so I do end up paying for the box and maybe getting a couple of cents in profit there. And then finally, my net return on this one club was $42.26 for an ROI of 143%. So this was a great sale. If I go to All Sold again and look at the iron set, I did not do as well as I did on the driver on this iron set. I should not really have accepted this deal. But you can see this automatically pulled from eBay because I sold this iron set on eBay, whereas I had to plug in everything manually from stackgolf.com. But I bought this for $249.07 and I sold it for $324.23. I did have an ad fee on this on eBay, which you normally don't have on stackgolf.com. The final value fee is astronomical here, which is another benefit of selling on stackgolf.com. So my net return here after shipping, I charged $15 in shipping, so I ended up losing some money there, was only $28.77. Not a great flip. I should not have accepted this offer for this iron set, but I will take $28 home after flipping this iron set. So with all that being said, I highly recommend Flipwise. I do not get endorsed or get anything back for you using Flipwise, but this is a very valuable tool and it is very easy to use for me for doing all sorts of accounting. And again, this video is not financial advice. It's not me. I'm not certified in any way, but this is just what works for me. So you need to go find what works for you out there and hopefully flip better than this $28.77 on this iron set. And y'all, that is really what it is all about on the back end. You have to have your accounting taken care of, you have to have your storage situation taken care of, and you've got to stay on top of your inventory. And that is what I'm going to spend my time doing for the next couple of days. I'm not going to buy any more golf clubs until I get everything I have listed and prepped for a live auction. If you want to see a video of how I prep for live auctions, leave a comment down below. I promise I will answer any and all questions in all the comments down below if you have any questions about selling or flipping golf clubs. Thank you for watching the video. Until next time, hit them straight.